Okay. Okay. All right. So back to the crazy. All right. So five headed kid. Okay. This dude, I think, matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up while I'm sitting here talking all this shit. So that we can have the real deal Holyfield story. Like I'm only giving you a half-ass information, and if I'm gonna tell it, I need to tell it the right way. So I think dude is like he's a welder or something. I want to say. Um, I'm gonna verify that. But anyway, he he's basically he's blue collar. Like he ain't out here making, you know, he ain't supervisor down the shop. We'll put it that way. Okay. Like he's taking his orders from somebody that's still punching a clock, if you know what I'm saying. So I was just like, and I mean, she's airing it, B man. Like she said she gave the screenshot, like you know how I do. Like she pulled a me. Okay. She was like, here's the screenshots from him and this bitch. I was just like, oh no. No, not a Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls wild shit is gone bad.
So
So,
were you surprised that he was stepping out on her?
oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
Like, well, I thought like everybody else did. If you are homesteading, and you're doing shit that's that serious, that's that level, to the house,
mhm.
you gotta have a pretty damn strong marriage. You got all them fucking kids that don't go nowhere. You know, you trying to do some things that's hands on. Like,
Yeah.
you got five kids, baby. You must not have a TV. You know what I'm saying? So, like I don't. I, I guess I just kind of figured that he thought, like we just figured out, that he's not going anywhere and going to be able to exist. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Because he's going to have to literally pay off that household. So
mhm.
there's I, if I were him, or if I were someone close to him, the first thing I would have done is step to him and said, "Homeboy, check this out, okay? Like, there's a whole lot of ways you can go about this, but I'm telling you right now, leaving her ain't one of them. Like,
Yeah.
you need to for real think about what you're doing, baby, because nobody needs to hide an affair like you do, kid. Like, I mean, he fucked up. Like, e- even three kids is undoable.
Mhm.
I know motherfuckers that's out here. Listen, uh, homeboy, he has like 100 G's that he owes on one kid. One kid, okay? Like 100 motherfucking G's. Do you know what I can do with 100 G's? I'll off his baby mama for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hold on, no, I'll take care of this for you for 60. Okay, like I can cut you 40 off the top right now. You know, like, and that's the type of shit. This is what I'm talking about. B. This is what I'm talking about. This is how white women get murdered, right here. Okay, this is the perfect example of what I've been talking about, because this man is looking at his options like, hold up. Okay, so basically, I can put this hoe through the wood chipper and have her in the zucchini patch before midday, or I can pay this bitch for the next 20 years. So that's what you're telling me?
You
I
know,
mean,
I kid you not.
man,
My first thought when you started talking about this
he's gonna kill her. He's gonna
was
kill her.
yes, and specifically, what's her name? The woman from Colorado, where I
Yeah,
think
I
he
know the
put
one you're talking about. Chris, whatever his name is, Chris
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Watts.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Chin Ann. Yeah,
That was the first that was the first thing I thought. Oh Jesus.
yeah. Oh yeah, because when she popped up pregnant with that third one, it was over with, and he knew that. You know what I mean? Well, shit, homegirl got five of these. Five, baby, you can't pay off five kids. By the time you get done paying for one of them, the other one got a grandbaby on the way. You know what? And they ain't leaving the house because their little bitch ass didn't go to college. They ain't doing nothing but working to the Circle K. Now you got to damn pay for all the Slurpees while they're pregnant. Come on, no, no, that's too many.
I mean, honestly, the story
He's real
has
lucky.
body in a landfill written all over it. Really, I
I
mean,
think that's why she went public. I think that's why she went public, B. I
Yeah.
really do. I think she went public with it and aired him out like that so that there was some sort of proof. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Hey, he did it. This one, it was not an accident. This bitch murdered me. That's what that shit says. Like, I really do think that she, Brian, I mean, honestly, it, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
If I was in that, man, I mean, no
She
other
would take
options. It's like,
everything.
dude, I think I'd be looking like a few seconds too long at her. Like,
Oh, yeah. You know what he gonna have?
yeah.
He gonna have a 1981 Ford Ranger, okay? Nowhere to put all them damn car seats when he got picked them fucking kids up. He
Mhm.
gonna listen. He he gonna have the saddest ass lunchbox in the shop. Like he just shit ain't going his way, bruh. It is not. Like, and now he can't even kill the bitch because she done went public. Like he gotta wait at least 2 years. That's 2 years at 5 kids.
Mhm.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. You know they can take 70% of your fucking income, B. 70%. You know what I could do with 70% of my income? Nothing. Because I need all my money. That's what. Okay? I need everything. I need 100% of my fucking money. And that right there is how bitches go through wood chippers. Right there. So tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Because damn it, I am the reigning queen of all fuckboy related material. And if something has fuckboy written on it, it's putting your wife through a wood chipper. So, you know, I, 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 I I understand why she set up the safety net, but I'm just telling you that
Mhm.
dude had nobody in his corner to say, hey, homie,
Mhm.
sit down for a minute. Let me talk at you. Okay. Because I know you think that this is what you want to do because you've been tangled up with this crazy ass Laura Ingalls Wilder type bitch for the last however many years, and you got 19 head of kids. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want to do this. What you want to do is do like all the other men with good sense in America and not get caught. Okay, so it is imperative that you do shit in a slick ass manner. I need you to be the sneakiest fucking snake that has ever slithered, homeboy, because if you are not on your sinister points, she gonna have your ass. And he didn't have nobody good in his life, basically, is what
Mhm.
happened here. The man ain't got no friends, apparently, because I would not let my dog go out like that. I wouldn't. Listen, I'd sit you down and be like, B man, listen, man, we gotta talk. Okay, check this out. Look, you know I'm down to go on and take this bitch out the game for you if that's what's got to happen. But I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a lot easier on both of us if you just don't get caught. Like, I get it, but I'm telling you, shit's about to
Mhm.
get real rough. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. You're fucking up both of our livelihoods, is what I'm telling you, bro. So,
And see,
like,
what that makes me wonder is like how long he's wanted to get away from
bro,
her and
and
all that comes with it. You know, like 'cause I
every
mean,
day. Every day. You ain't got no relief from them kids. You ain't,
yeah.
they don't go nowhere. Where the fuck they gonna go? Homeschoolosaurus? No, they ain't there's no relief. It's
Mhm.
kids in your face. It's vegetable garden in your face. It's no vaccinations in your face. It's fucking frontier the homestead in your face. It's no, you're too much. You're doing too much. You're trying to do too much. We want electricity. That's why we
Mhm.
have it. It's good. Electricity is good. Like nobody wants to pay the light company. I don't want to pay them. I don't like it when they get in my pocket. But guess what? I like lights and I like being able to see shit when I'm trying to do shit. So it's something you got to do. And like all this other shit is extra, B. That's why we were so stressed out back in those days. Bitches lived to like 29. You feel me? Like we didn't have the option of, just plugging some shit in and living another fucking 20 years. It was hard and it's unnecessary to replicate that type of shit now. That's why people look at you real fucked up when you go into a spiel about it.
Yeah, you have to really like put so much time and energy into
Ooh,
like self regressing.
Oh
You
my
know,
God. Like, I'm talking about you're out there, scrubbing your petticoats and shit at the crick. And like, I got my shit done in my steam dryer real quick, and it just took all the wrinkles and everything out for me. Like, I didn't even have to plug an iron in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my life is real nice and easy, and I like it that way. I'm not going back to having the dogs pulling me to the store. Like I'm not no, and they ain't gonna have it. They lazy. So, it doesn't matter. And not only that, they're not in Alaska. Okay. It's not one of these places where you got to do that. You better do that. It's not necessary. We are not dealing with Aborigines individuals. Like, and she's not a dumb bitch. She's just on a soapbox, bitch. You feel me? Oh yeah, she whack. She whack. She's got a bunch of crowns up in there, but ain't none of them in the right color scheme. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she a whole box of fuchsia when I'm looking for violet. You feel me? Like, this is not. It just goes to show, though, B, that even though you have set your family up in such a fashion that you feel like this was the time when families stayed together. This was the time when, well, I guess your baby daddy didn't get the fucking memo, because apparently he's with the bitch that got her kids vaccinated, and she running electric in the house right on down the way. So I don't really know what that does to the whole theory, what level that adds to the conspiracy theory, but you tell me.
yeah,
I
I could not imagine trying to
oh,
live like
he
that.
gonna kill her. He gonna kill her. Yeah, I mean, I got this one all day. I'll go ahead and drop my 20 on that one. So it's, I know that if it were me and I had the choice to work the rest of my life and pay somebody else's bills and not have shit for myself, or just run this hoe right on into the zucchini bed, she is going to be feeding my zucchinis by 9 a.m. Okay. Like, I'll be out there with the water hose, just rinsing my shit right on down into my soil. Okay. I want all those nutrients. Like, this is, I ain't letting nothing go to waste at this point. Like, you know, I don't see where she doesn't understand that. Like, he has no option but to pretty much take your life at this point. You have fucked him. Well, he fucked himself, but he wasn't smart enough to realize it. So now he's going to do what every family annihilator does, and that is get rid of the source of the problem. He'll probably take the kids out with him too, honestly. So
That seems to be the trends,
it's exactly how they do it. I didn't want my family to have to live with the shame of what I had done. Isn't that their famous line? Famous
Yep.
last word, right? I didn't want them to have to live with the shame, the oppression that having a father that stepped out on their mother would bring to them. So I killed all of them, one by one, with my bare hands. Like, okay, yeah, you're not a monster at all. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Be man. Listen.
Hey, listen, those dudes scare me too. So
I know they do, because you're black. Y'all don't do shit like that, okay? That's listen, I'll say it like I always do, which is, you cannot abuse your wife and children and be black, okay? You can only have one struggle, Brian. You got to pick a fucking struggle. So you can't have the police turning up to your house for nothing good. Never mind for some shit like that. That's just, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out for you. And we know that, That's why when families get annihilated, we don't say the black guy did it. You know what I mean? We're just like, oh shit, that wasn't a black guy. That was not him. He knows what will occur if some shit like that goes down. I promise you, it was not the black guy.
every time there's like a Lacey Peterson type of story, every time there's a mass shooting,
yep,
you already know.
Coworkers, or a coworker goes crazy,
Somebody goes postal, right?
The black guy.
Yeah.
Nah, because check this out. We always think, how it is, in the shop, you always got that one individual that ain't quite right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And don't nobody really want to sit with him at lunch. Don't nobody really want to. I don't want to hear your crazy fucking stories, but you don't want to say that either because he's going to be the one that comes in and kills everybody. And when he does that, I want to be the one that he does not shoot, as I'm running away. I don't want to be shot in the back before I even hit the time clock. You feel what I'm saying? I want to get out of the parking lot alive today. So I
I was
listen to these crazy stories.
I was out of town at the time, but there was a shooting. I think it was at a I want to say at a Walmart plant in a place called Corning, which is about like 40 minutes south of me. There's
Uh-huh.
a there's a Walmart facility out there, and this was like I don't know a couple months ago. So let me look it up actually. But I was following that, and it was a dude that just lost it and started shooting everybody up there or down
See,
there.
that's wild because um you know I know that I'm not considered the sanest broad out of the lineup, like really. If some crazy shit pop off, people gonna look at me for a couple seconds too long, like you know what, it really might have been this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. I mean, are you asking for a definitive? Because I can't give you a definitive, like she may very well have done this shit, but I'm not the one where people are instantaneously like, oh shit, this bitch. One day she going, we had a dude, okay, his name was Kim Witter, okay, when I worked at Publix, and he actually was fired for assaulting a manager, okay, my homeboy Marlon, who actually died in a motorcycle accident a couple of years back. But we all knew because he's crazy Kim Witter. He had been there for 30 fucking years. He was he was an entitled white man who was off his fucking rocker. His mother had, bequeathed him the home. He had taken care of her until her passing. And when she passed, he fucking lost it. And I remember Marlon came in and tried to, say something to him, and he fucking lost his shit and put his hands on Marlon and was fired on the spot. I had to fire him on the fucking spot. And I also remember being afraid to go to my car that night, because Kim was very well known to have a whole arsenal. So, and he was not all there. Do you feel me, Punkin? He was the stereotypical dude that comes in and just blows everybody away. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not gonna fucking make it out of this parking lot today. He's gonna be on the goddamn water tower whenever I go to my fucking car. I really, and I remember they had security come over and everything, like it was insane, and I was just like, this is the type of shit that I do not need in my life. Like, this is extra. This here, too much. Like, I had just enough, and now there's way too fucking much. So, like, it was, yeah, I mean, absolutely down to the wire scenario, you know?
I found the story. It's actually Red Bluff, which is about maybe 30 minutes away or so. But yeah, shooting at Walmart distribution center.
Mm-mm.
At least six people injured, two died in a shooting on June 28th. And it was a former employee. He's actually from Reading, so from where I live. Said he was
Mhm.
fired in February 2019 after missing a shift. And I guess maybe he was playing the long game or something, but he came back up in June of the next year, driving a white
Yeah,
SUV. He said he circled the facility four times,
like a shark, like a
crashed
shark.
crashed into the building, um, and then exited. When he got out of the truck, he was carrying says some kind of semi-automatic weapon of some kind, and opened up. So
See,
there you go.
we call it playing the long game. What they call it is stewing in their emotions. They have been literally sitting there so fucking mad all day, every day. Okay, something come on the TV, they're like, those motherfuckers. Something pop up in the neighborhood, those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, that's all is happening with these bitches. Like, that's all they thinking about. Well, if these bitches hadn't fired me, this bird would not be shitting on my car today. Like, everything can be traced back to this one singular event that ruined their existence. And that is how people get murdered. You know, like you can't give somebody like that a reason. You know, they already have the mindset that it's the world against them. You know, when you give them verifiable proof that the world has, in fact, turned against them, you instantly paint yourself as a target. So, you know, you gotta know the level of crazy that you're fucking with, and be real careful about provoking it because they take it too far, man. You know, like people are not stable. There, and I'm gonna tell you, there's been a time or two in my life, Brian, where I've not been real stable. I told you when I caught Corey with that bitch in my fucking house, honey, I sat there with my pistol in my lap and thought about the shit. Like I've never in all my life been, Brian. When I say I thought about it, what I meant to tell you was I thought about walking in that house and blowing both them motherfuckers away. I literally was to the part where what the fuck am I gonna do with these bodies?
Mm.
How am I gonna get rid of these bitches? Because they gonna be heavy. You know, like, hold on. I got that hand truck out back. You know, I could just strap that hoe right onto it. You know, I'm that far. I'm that far into the thought process, B. Like, so I know it don't really take too many turning of the screws, you know, like my shit was loose to begin with, you know, so you just bag it out a little bit, tap tap, you know, it's gonna go, it's gonna go in the wrong direction, and I'm not the type that you play with crazy like that because I know, you know, like if you had any doubts, don't have them. I know me, and I know yes, it's possible, you know, it's not about it's not about intent. It's about the fact that some people just can't handle no motherfucking more on them. You know what I mean? Like they already ain't right. When you add some shit that really stresses a bitch that ain't right out, they can't deal with it. You know, some people just ain't mentally equipped to deal with traumatic shit, to deal with, you know, life altering shit. Like that's why Kim Witter was in that job for 30 years. He couldn't handle the stress of going to, I mean, he was a smart man, you know, knew his shit. He could have went and made more money somewhere else. He couldn't handle the upheaval. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't be gone from his sick mama. You know, like you can't push shit like that on people like that, B, you know, because they are not equipped for changes. They're not equipped for circumstances. They have a certain, like he would eat lunch at a certain time, at a certain table, at a, you know, and God forbid some shit be switched up. And that's a telltale right there. If a bitch go to the same table every Brian, look, I'm paying attention at the job, okay?
Mm.
You go to the same table with the same lunch every single day for some 4 or 5 years, I got my eye on you, baby. Because if the day you don't go to that table, I'm clearing the fuck out. You know, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't at the table? Oh, no, no, no. Hold on. I gotta go. Dentist appointment. Shit. You know, hell stupid. You know, you watch for the shit that, man, they can't handle. They can't handle that change in the routine. They can't handle that upheaval, you know, and they are the ones that just fucking lose it, you know, because it's all about control. If they cannot control every aspect of everything at all times, it's a problem. So, you know, and you know how white privilege likes control. They love control, you know. I'm gonna tell you how to do you right now, you know, and God forbid you're opposed to that. That ain't gonna work, you know. And that's a hard lesson to learn. I mean, shit. Uh, when I was up underneath, you know, Mr. Fuckface, the engineer that, you know, sexually harassed me, you know, when I first started in my field, you know, and he married man, okay, good looking man, played college football, honey. Shit, if he wasn't married, bitch, I'd have hollered at him so fast. But you married, and I don't play like that, you know, like that's not cute. Don't come at me like that. You know what I mean? Like this is well stated, pumpkin. Back the fuck up, but you know, and he just was so motherfucking mad, Brian. He couldn't believe that I had the audacity to tell somebody that he had been inappropriate. honey, don't you know he came down there in my office and screamed at me? Why are you trying to ruin my life? Why you want to tell everybody? I'm trying to ruin your life.
Huh.
Excuse me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I didn't realize that that was how that was playing out. Because what I thought was you would grab me inappropriately, you know what I mean? And treated me like I was your personal motherfucking sex toy. And shit ain't happening like that. So I'm gonna need you to rethink your whole thought process with me. He was so fucking mad that I had the nerve to tell on him, and the worst part about it, nothing happened to him. There were no repercussions for him. You know what we were instructed? This is back in the late 90s. We were told to not work on any projects together. Essentially, we were told to stay away from one another like you do with fucking 5-year-olds.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that he had that kind of reaction, of course,
Yep.
means that it had
Yep.
happened before, and
Uh-huh.
whoever
Yep.
he did it to just didn't
Well,
say
he married
anything,
that one. He married that one. The one that it
Oh,
happened
well,
to before me. Uh-huh.
there you
Yeah.
go then.
You feel me? So
Okay.
apparently the job is his hunting grounds. But yeah, it was disgusting. It was because he felt so fucking entitled, that who are you to fucking tell me no? Well, I'm the woman that's telling you no. So, hello, have you met me? No. Like you I don't know what's so hard for you to understand about this, but you're in my personal space and I'm telling you that all your years of college football better be paying off because I'm about to fucking go at you with everything I got on me. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get the fuck out of the way of this door. Like, it's going to happen right now. I mean, he was like, I, there are very few men that I've ever been scared standing in my face because, usually I'll be like, man, I'll punch his bitch right dead ass in his shit, right in his throat, and he's going to fuck to the floor. You know what I mean? But this dude, I don't really think it would have made a difference with him because his neck was about 5 times the size of a regular dude's neck. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
dude was, I mean, he was for real. There was a reason he played football. Like, there wasn't no mistaking it. You wasn't going to look at him and think baseball. No, you knew what the fuck this dude was out to do. I mean, he, I, I don't think I could have dropped him. I couldn't have dropped him. Even if I had the drop on him, I could have dropped him, Brian. Like it was, and he was so fucking mad. And everybody in the office was standing there listening to it, and nobody did nothing about it. Like, what? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there was already a culture of it to begin with.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
there you go.
And it is I knew that I was going into a male dominated field. I did. I already knew that. I told you how I used to, when I started at Publix, I cried every day for the first year in my car on my lunch break, but I dried that shit right on up and went the fuck back in there and did my job. And they never saw that, I knew that there were, sacrifices that I had to make. I could not be emotional. I couldn't be a person, essentially, because any weakness, they they utilize it, and it's never good. So I always had to tuck my feelings in my back pocket, but this was a whole different situation than that. This was actual fucking, I mean, he assaulted me. You know what I'm saying? This was not, this bitch ass that, dudes like to do when you got too many of them in one spot, like hens. But I mean, this was a whole different, I mean, this man fucking put his hands on me, Brian, like, that's not cool. There's no way around that, and he literally like he was shaking mad, Brian, when I told him no, and I mean, he honestly, that's the dude that, was slipping roofies and bitches shit in college. I got money on that. You know what I mean? Like, this is the dude that just don't take no for an answer, and I don't think he's used to hearing no too often, but he don't like it when he does, and you know what that dude is. We all know what that dude is, I mean, they fried one of them here, not too many years back, so I mean, that's just, insane to me. Just thinking about it still gets like my nerves going. You know what I mean? I can remember how scared I was in that moment. I remember what that felt like for me at 19. You know, I remember what that felt like for me, and it was probably the most scared I had ever been in my life at that. You know, he was an intimidating individual. You know, and at that point he had nothing to lose because I had called his ass to the mat. When you give somebody nothing to lose, that's how bitches end up dead. So let's add that to the list. How bitches end up dead. Reason number 482. Don't give them nothing to lose, you know, because then there's no reason not to. You know what I'm saying? Like in his eyes, I had I had exposed him for what he was. Therefore, I had jeopardized his marriage, his job, his whatever. I had tried to take everything away from him in one fell swoop because I am clearly an evil she-devil. And
And
let's not
see,
get that tangled.
I want to pick up on that thread there
Uh-huh.
of we've seen this a lot of time, all the time, where a man cheats on his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll promise the world to the side chick, and she's just waiting for him to finally divorce his wife, and he never does. He never
No,
does.
no.
And your experience just brought me back to that, because they never do. They want to have both sides, and
Of
if you
course.
threaten that, like you
You
said,
don't. Yeah.
mm,
You know my thoughts on it, which are the quickest way for a woman to die is to come in between a white man and his money. Okay. I, as we all know, I was married to wealth for a fair amount of time. You know, Corey was, um, independently wealthy. And I will tell you that I never thought for a moment, not a singular moment, was I thinking to myself, how am I back a U-Haul into this bitch? How am I, you know what I mean? No. What I did was load up that Acura with the handbags and shoes and all my handy dandy little clothes and got the fuck up out of there. You know, I was not going to sit there and try to split hairs and yours and mine and whatnot, because yours and mine in those type of situations are his and his dead ex-wives. So, and that's just not, I'm not up for that. I'm not. I like not being cut into manageable pieces and dropped off in the Florida swamp. I like having my head on my neck, right at the top of my vertebrae, exactly where it's supposed to be, unhindered by being decapitated. So we're gonna leave me in the shape we found me in and just get my shit and ride. Like it's it, when it comes to having marital issues and then involving, what you don't want to do is open up his eyes to the fact that he's about to lose half his shit, because then he's gonna go to looking around. What half of this shit do I really want to get this bitch? Because I ain't giving that up, and I like all this over here too, like there ain't nothing in this garage I want to give to this bitch. I mean, she might be able to take the quilt off the damn second bedroom bed, but other than that, this bitch gonna have to kick rocks, and then it gets nasty. And they're like, uh-uh. You know how many hours I worked to pay for that fucking couch this bitch is talking about taking out of here? Hell no, you ain't taking that fucking couch, and then you end up, cut up and shoved down into, the springs of the couch, and he gently places the cushions right back over you and sets your ass out to the road. And that's just not how I'm going out today. It's a terrible look. And it does. It leads to bad shit. It's you now uh what doesn't occur, you don't see them killing their wives and whatnot, overtaking the kids. She's welcome to walk out with all them little bastards, do you ever do you hello Come on now, you know. You ain't
Mhm.
never gonna see him dropping this bitch because she took all 5 of them fucking badass kids that's homeschooled. You know what I mean? He don't want no part of that shit. He's like, no hell you ain't leaving them fucking kids here. You better take every one of them little bastards. Like, even the oldest one, you get him out of here too. He got a slick ass mouth. Take them all, you know? But what they will kill you for is money, and they'll kill you for their pride, you know, and you don't want to damage either one of them, you know, and that's shit. Lessons of growing up white woman. You know, I might write a second. I might write a second book this year, Brian. It's gonna be the lessons I learned growing up as a white woman. Lesson 1: don't get decapitated. Like, take the kids, don't take the money. It's it's the truth. It is. I feel like I feel like more people should be aware of this, you know, and maybe there'll be maybe a closer eye. Like, I know I'm looking for homegirl to post. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't see her on there every couple days, I'm gonna go snooping around because I'm a nosy bitch and I want to pay attention to what is popping off. You know, like, if I don't see her on there for 72 hours, bitch,
Mhm.
I'm going to look to see. Have you been online recent? What was your last online activity? I need to know. Like, I know it's not my place to be in her business like that, but now it almost feels like, hey, will somebody please pay attention, make sure this bitch don't cut my head off. Yeah,
Well, look, it's public now. I mean, you know,
it,
so
and I think she gonna thank God for that, actually, you know, because I don't know if that has ever made the difference in one of these fuck ass family annihilators, you know, little plan of action. But I'd like to think that if somebody did it right, it's made a difference in one of them. You know, I do know that the woman that was actually run through the wood chipper, I believe it was what, New Hampshire or Maine, somewhere way the fuck up there, and she was from Sweden, I believe, um, and a mail order bride situation. And he fucking ran her ass through that wood chipper. She she went to talking about divorce and had called him out for his affair and and bitch, you a mail order bride. You ain't supposed to say nothing. You supposed to sit there and look mail order. You know what I mean? And she told
yeah,
her friend, yeah,
yeah,
she
just
told her, just take it. You're supposed to be a doormat. Yep. That's why they order those, you know, because they know no American woman gonna put up with their fucking nonsense. I'm not gonna take your fucking orders. You can kiss my dick. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can talk to the next bitch like that. You better go on and get you another shit. No. No. But like, he fucking he flat out told her, you know, I don't know who the fuck you think you're leaving, but it ain't me, you know. And she had told her friend, her one little friend that she had here. I think they were taking a class together, English as a secondary language class, as a matter of fact. And she told her friend, if something happens to me, you know, I did not leave. It was him. And yeah, so uh, I mean, had she had a stronger support network, I still think he would have done it. But you know, maybe he would have thought twice. No, he wouldn't have. Yeah, he ran the motherfucker through the wood chipper,
yeah,
Brian.
you've already made that decision a
You
while
ain't
back.
got,
You know what I
yeah, you
mean?
ain't got no heart. You ain't got no fucking heart. Like, there's nothing that is across the line for you, dude. If you slept next to that woman last night and you ran that bitch through a wood chipper today, there's nothing you won't do. Name it, B. Name it. Like, kick babies. Yeah, he'll do it. You know, drown puppies. Motherfucker done did it. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that's off limits to this dude. This dude is the nastiest of the nasty, nasty nasties. You know, like, he is low down and disgusting. Like, there's no, I don't think, okay, that's bottom of the fucking barrel right there. Like, you could scrape the sludge, you know, from down around the damn ring at the bottom, and he's about that nasty. Like, there's, how do you sleep next to someone and then I mean, the sound of it,
Because
Brian.
that decision in his mind was made a while, you know, at the time was made a while
Uh-huh.
back. Like he,
Oh, yeah, had to
you know what I
be.
mean? Like
Who even thinks of that? Like,
him.
I just,
but but it's, you know what? But think about this. It's the complete like divorcing of emotion. You know, like
oh
he
yeah,
had no,
he
you know what I mean? Like
obliterated.
yeah,
He
yeah.
obliterated everything right then. Yep.
So he could do that because emotionally he was already gone from her. Like it's been dead. It's completely dead. So he can sit
Yeah.
there knowing that he was going to do premeditated, you know,
Uh-huh.
knowing he was going to
Uh-huh.
do that. You know, it's something that obviously normal people can't fathom, but somebody
Hmm.
like that is like probably
Well,
easy as
where
tying a shoe, you know.
where she fucked up was you do know that the laws surrounding these mail order brides is if within the first 5 years, y'all divorce, she goes on government assistance. You owe that shit to Uncle Sam, baby. He coming in your wallet and getting that bitch's money. Like, oh, we gave her $180 in food stamps last week. Give it to us, and Uncle Sam ain't gonna take no for an answer. They're coming to get their bread. Like they're backing the bread truck right on up to your front door. Load up, bitch. Like he's he ain't even no. And what you gonna do? What you gonna tell Uncle Sam he can't have it? Oh, that's cool. We'll just yank this check from you then and take it out. How about that? Or you could give us our little 70% and shut the fuck up. And yeah, he knew what was coming. I think they'd only been married like 2 years. She knew when she got there, shit was not as he had presented it. And it never is. It never is the way that these guys are over there selling a dream, being a foreign fuck boy at that point. They're a fuck boy in a foreign land, so they got a whole different song and dance. It's like giving a fuck boy wooden shoes. You know what I mean? Like
You
they're
know,
they're Dutch for a day.
when you dangle that whole, you know, American dream out there to
Oh
them,
yeah.
there's that perception that, like, you know, you as an American male, that you're rich, you got all this material stuff, you this and that.
Shit.
It
You
is
about to set them up in the white picket fence, babe.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
It's easy to sell them that because that's what they, you know, that's the picture of what America
It's the
is. And you get
illusion.
over here and it's like
Yep.
it's not the reality, but you're
Nah.
already here now.
Right. And
So
for her to be able to go back, she would. I mean, you're here in a foreign land. You don't speak the fucking language. You got nothing. You know what? You come from dirt. So you got no money. You got no education, no job. The only person that you can turn to is the same motherfucker that was the wolf in sheepskin. That is basically like, hey, bitch. Got you now, huh? And you're just like, oh shit, like this isn't good. And I could just like, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I can hear the fucking music starting to play, like this just got Hitchcock quick. Like, oh my god, like stop, somebody fucking can we just kill this whole I don't need the sound effects to go with this because this shit is frightening to me, and could you imagine just being that fucking trapped? You have nobody here. You can't even speak to anybody to get somebody here. You are really trapped. You are under their fucking thumb. And that to me is the most terrifying fucking thought ever.
I can't argue with that. And you know, another aspect of it is I often wonder, like, at what point do they finally, or maybe start, I should say, start to realize, you know, that it's not all what it seems, you know,
Yeah.
because yeah, there's got to be this like point of comprehension where you think,
Uh-huh. How
oh,
many lies did it take for it to dawn on her?
yeah,
Oh my God. How many inconsistencies did she catch, before she realized she's fucked, um, that that this is not going to end well. You know what I mean? And I think that the fear and trepidation is already there to set the stage for her. She's on high alert. You know, she is basically a rabbit in an open fucking field at this point. She knows the shit is about to go down. She just doesn't know what direction it's coming from. You know, like that's what I would liken it to, is a jackrabbit. You know, just heart about to beat, slap out her fucking chest, you know, and finally she sees that set of talons and it's over with, you know. And I just can't, like, for me, the ones that actually are so fucking fed up that they risk walking out, that they basically literally just walk the fuck out, you know, with the clothes that they can carry, you know, and pray for the best, you know. How much must they have taken? Like, we all have a limit, but I'm gonna tell you, you can stretch that limit pretty motherfucking far when your mind needs you to, you know. And I just wonder, for the wood chipper, you know, how much had she taken that she was really willing to risk this kind of fucking lunatic cutting loose on her? Because she had to know. I mean, that's not something that you don't just overnight a bitch with that. You don't just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm this level of crazy. Woo! You know, you don't go from being like a librarian to, you know, a fucking Harley mechanic after a nap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have tendencies. There's got to be something there that is just screaming. And, you know, with women, you know, we look for that shit anyway. I'm always looking for somebody to have a crazy look on, you know. Like, if I see, if out the corner of my eye, if I see you cut an eye at me and it looks slightly psycho, you know, like, I'm already like, oh shit, it's about to go down in this motherfucker. Like, let me just go on and I'm gonna unsheath this knife real quick. It's finna happen. Like, shit is about to go down, you know? Like, I'm over here cleaning my pistol and shit. Like, you ain't sneaking up on me, bitch. Shit, I'm slapping this motherfucking. But what? Hold on. Let me hit the speed loader real quick. Like, you know,
Have you ever
you
seen
look
that
at,
show 90 Day Fiance before?
yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, now I wasn't aware of it. I'd heard of it, but I'd never really seen an episode of it. And I watched a couple episodes like a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
Man, I tell
Whoa,
you,
whoa. What you won't do for love, you
it
try
it's
everything.
just, you know, especially there were a couple. I think there was a woman from Brazil, and she was born in this like just poor favela down there. There's one from Colombia, and and then of course you look at the dude, and you're like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, you know, you
Uh-huh.
sell her that dream.
Yep.
Turns out you're living with your mother, or you're living in this little piece of shit house, or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and they get there and like, you don't have a BMW? Like, got this
Yep.
Civic back here. Got this Honda Civic, you know, '97,
And you know, you can't kill them. They stronger than COVID. Shit.
and I'm just it kind of it really like reinforces that stereotype of that American dude that goes over to, you know, Southeast Asia or Eastern
Russia.
Russia. Yeah,
Russia
exactly. You
is,
know,
yeah, oh yeah.
and just, and I'm like, what level of like low self esteem, desperation, the whole 9 yards. You have to be the.
What fresh hell is this?
I mean, you can't, for whatever, you know, you can't talk to women in your own country, so you have to go to a place where they don't speak the same language, and you can, and
They
like you
do.
said, you have that, at least at the beginning, you know, you have that control over them. Now, of course, because it's a show, it's all, you know, it's obviously highly stylized and all that. So we actually
I have a real
see.
life one. I have a real life one, Bri. A guy that I worked with, a maintenance tech. I was bartending after, you know, my second job at one of Joe Redner's clubs over in Tampa. And there was a Russian stripper, which I've told you, Russian strippers are not to be fucked with, dude. Those are the most hustling ass bitches you ever seen in your fucking life. They will cut you right there at the side of the stage and take every fucking dime you got on you before you even realize you've been cut, like your guts is hanging out. Like, they don't care. They ruthless. Like, some shit goes down and a stripper get her ass whipped in the dressing room. It was a Russian bitch that did it, guaranteed. they don't play about their fucking money. Them bitches is, whoa, they ruthless. So he hears that I'm working at, one of Joe Redner's spots. I guess he goes over there, thinking he gonna fucking bust up in my little hustle, and whatever, and try to get cute because I work with him in the daytime. Bitch, I'll have you tossed. You know what I mean? Well, he shows up on a night I'm not working. Okay, gets to chit chatting with a Russian who sets him up with her sister in Russia. Okay, so now this is an older gentleman. He's already well into his 60s. Okay, never been married, lived with his sick mother. Okay, you already know. It's the stereotypical setup. Living at home with mama at 60. Okay, ain't never really been socialized. He's Norman Bates. So he gets to chatting with sister. Tanya is her name. Gets to chatting with Tanya, and whatever. She's got a son, Nico. He's 18. All right. So dude plans and goes over to Russia and meets her, and they hit it off. And within 3 months, he returns and marries her. This is how I know the immigration wife laws so well, is because he explained them to me very well. He actually sent me a thank you card for, if it wasn't him going up there looking for me, he never would have met his wife. That's what was written in the card. Okay, that's the level of crazy we're dealing with, Brian. That's the okay. How fucking, oh my God, that's red alert crazy. That's fucking red alert crazy. So anyway, he arranges for not only the woman but also the 18-year-old son to come over. Okay, so immediately they both are enrolled in English as a second language, and the boy has to take X amount of American classes before he can go on to higher education, and he's paying for all this. Okay, he's paying for all of this. He's paying for them to become educated. He's paying for them to gain the freedom to walk out on him. Okay, so, oh my fuck. So of course, like, okay, I mean, if you didn't know where this story was going, you ain't been with me, because she's got a sister that's a fucking stripper that is clearing a G a week. Okay, like, it ain't like she ain't got somewhere to go. All right. The college courses get paid for, whatever. She gets acclimated and realizes she does not have to sleep up underneath this fucking 65-year-old fucking dude anymore, and she can actually get her ass up out. So I think that something that needs to be better explained to these women is that the immigration policy is there to help them, that they are allowed to walk out, and it's not meant to punish them. You know what I mean? It's meant to give them a leg up, give them the ability to walk out. And it's not explained to them like that. It's explained to them like it is a criminal set of charges that are handed down, in the event that their marriage doesn't work out. And that's not at all the way that it should be handled. It's basically frightening these women into staying in these fuck ass situations. And that is a really fucked up way to have to live your life, and she was a very good example of that. I mean, she, in the dead of the night, packed her kid up, and they walked the fuck out with everything that she brought in from Russia, and it wasn't very much. I think a couple suitcases, and I mean, it, I believe she was an educator over there. As a matter of fact, I think she was like a high school teacher and came here and had nothing. And, what is she going to do? She doesn't speak the language. She has, nothing, nothing. She can't do anything here. And so she's trapped underneath this old, disgusting fucking mama's boy and living in this shrine to his dead mother. And, and there's only so many times that you can hear the same stories. Trust me, I know. I heard them all while he worked with me, and it was just like, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't begin to imagine how fucking bad that must have been, you know. Um, So it really reinforces the whole, if they could get someone here, they would. These are not dudes that are over here actively getting laid that are going to other countries. You know, there's something fundamentally fucked up with this dude if he has to leave this country to find a woman that is willing to go to bed with him. You know,
Mhm.
he got to marry a bitch and bring her whole damn family over in order to get some action. Something is wrong, Brian. Something is bad fucking wrong. Okay? Like, he ain't just walking in and doing like you do and sprinkling the magic BBC on the situation. Okay? Like, it's not going down like that. It's not going, like, white women are not throwing themselves at him as he walks down the streets. Like, it's not taking place that way. So, you know, he's the dude that I said has the neon sign saying, I'm pretty sure that BBC will satisfy my wife and I can't. That's the dude I'm referring to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the dude I'm talking about. You know? And I mean, honestly, how do you explain that to these women?
I mean, you're right. The story is the same almost every single time. It's that,
Across the
yeah,
board,
just,
B.
yeah.
It's a one-line answer at this point. Mm.
You
How
know,
old are you and how many years has your mama lived with you? Ill. You know what I mean?
I've got a family member who was, I'm trying to remember if she'd been married before. I don't remember exactly, but he's got a wife who's from I want to say somewhere in Southeast Asia, and
Uh-huh. Filipino,
relationship.
you already know they love them Filipinos.
It was
Whew.
it's either
Lord have
that
mercy.
or Thailand. I don't remember which exactly, but the dynamic is as you'd expect. Like, just she's very docile,
Meek. Uh-huh.
meek,
Yeah. There's
and
a definite power imbalance.
that's yes, exactly. And you know, I think, man, they've been together for a while. I think I was still in, I think I was still in high school at the time when they had gotten together. So I
Shit, that
didn't.
ain't but like 3 years ago. Damn, kid. You talk like that's forever ago. That's like, bitch, that was 2008. Who you talking to?
But
Anyway, go ahead.
when I first saw them, it looked strange because because I hadn't like experienced or like seen that, witnessed before. And it wasn't until like a few years later when I got a little more understanding about how life works that, yeah, that power imbalance, that dynamic, it made more sense as I looked at all the surrounding details.
Right.
Uh,
But that right there, that is the key to it all, right there, what you just said. You hadn't seen that before because
mhm.
your mama and daddy, first of all, I bet you your daddy came at your mama like that. Your mama smacked the taste out his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, hold up, homeboy, check this out. I do this shit for you because I love you, but don't get sideways because we can get sideways, and you don't want to get sideways with me. You know, it's in a in a in a relationship where you don't have a huge power imbalance. I know you think that I enjoy doing your fucking laundry, but here's a news flash, homie. I do it because I like you. And now you're making me not like you. And you can fuck yourself and take your laundry with you while you fuck yourself. You know, like any woman who knows that she isn't 100% trapped under someone isn't afraid to speak up for herself. It's the women who have zero authority in their lives that can't say anything. They have to take it. They have to take it. Whatever he dishes out, they have to take it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is, and it it made me uncomfortable then, makes me uncomfortable now. You know,
Yeah,
like
you can tell. I can tell you're uncomfortable talking about it. I can tell you're very, because that's not you. You're just
yeah.
like, oh yeah, it was a bad scene, you know. And I'm just like, oh shit, it was not a good scene. B is not with it.
It's like
Like,
it's the way it's like commanding talk instead of like talking at
they're talking
instead of
at
talking with.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yep.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just
Because I know you, and I know that if somebody was to do your sister like that, I'd be on my way out with some fucking industrial sized garbage bags to help you get rid of a body. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't happening in your world,
you know
you
what?
know?
I'll be over here, Third Street over by MLK Boulevard. Let's go.
I
Like
mean, listen,
that's
I'd
not
just be
that's
like,
yeah.
B, it's cool. I gotta stop and do this cash only transaction on these garbage bags and bleach, bro. But I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not for a moment gonna deal with that kind of shit, you know, because you you were taught better than that. Your sister knows better than that. Therefore, it's a non-issue. But I wish somebody would. Hello? I wish somebody would. Like, and you just know that these dudes, if they ever had, and that's why they can't deal with bitches like me. You know what I mean? Because I'll be quick. Like, I pull the bitch out my pocket so fast. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, that's your opinion on women? Well, here, what do you have to say about this? You know, and just absolutely fucking tear into them. And normally they don't say anything. And that's how you know they're fucking pissed, because they can't believe I had the audacity to question their authority. And it's God, don't let me do it in front of people. Don't, because I swear to you, you can see the hatred coming off of them, rolling off of them in waves. They're so fucking mad, you know? And I'm just like, oh, you appear to be angered. Have I said something? I'm so sorry. Like, I totally didn't mean to offend you when
On Valley
you know, were
Girl.
making when you were making blanket statements about how women are,
Yeah.
you know, basically dishwashers. You know, I'm sorry, my degree begs to differ. However, if you want to keep on, you know, punching in at the time clock, and I'll just continue supervising you, you stupid fuck, we can just get back to normal. You know, and it enrages them. They can't stand it. It's honestly, I'm really surprised that more women in positions of authority at the job aren't murdered. You know what I mean? Like, because I can tell you right now, there's been a few of them that wanted to kill me. Like, I can't even count it on one fucking hand no more, Brian. So, you know, like, they hated to see me coming and they hated to see me going. You know what I mean? Like, because I couldn't be their friend. I couldn't take no shit. I, it I had to be that, you know, because if I showed any weakness, it was over. I I lost control, you know, and I'd never get it back. And therefore, I'm not coming here to be your fucking friend. I'm not having beers with you on Saturday. I'm not doing none of this that y'all. I'm not playing those games with you. You know, like, you know who I am, and this is who I am. You know, and please don't try to come at me with the dumb shit, because if you do, I'm gonna call you out in front of everybody here. I'm gonna embarrass you and make you feel this fucking big, just like your mama used to do when she used to put you in a dress, and that's why you hate women. You know what I mean? Like, it. I see you obviously got a real fucked up view of chicks, you know, and I can't help it that, you know, that your mama was a prostitute and brought her Johns, you know, to the house. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my fault, son. I can't help you with that, you know, but what I can tell you is that you're not gonna treat me like that. You know, you're not gonna come at me no kind of sideways, especially here on the job. And man, Brian, eh, man, listen, there was a there was at the same plant, where the dude that married the Russian chick worked in the same maintenance department. We had another one. His name was James. He married a chick from Guatemala. Okay, listen, this broad. Oh yeah, Guatemala, baby, third world. We went third world with it. Okay, this broad was not allowed to drive. She was not allowed to, you know, um, she couldn't just go up to the damn Dollar General and pick up some fucking cleaning supplies on a Tuesday. All right. That's not happening. She's got to go to him, explain the need for the cleaning products, probably write an essay, Give a rough estimate on the money that will be required to purchase said cleaning materials, and then give an estimate on exactly how much she can clean with said cleaning supplies before she can get that trip to the Dollar General. Man, fuck you. Fuck you and everything you stand for with that dumb shit. That is ignorance. And these women take it because they're here. They're in America. She can go to the Dollar General once she breaks loose of this fucking idiot. And I hope to God she's putting Drano in his fucking soup. I swear, I've never wanted somebody to be poisoned so bad. And I wanted to give her a box of damn rat poison for Christmas. I swear I did. With directions: drop 3 teaspoons into his iced tea. Like I wanted to do the homegirl solid. You feel what I'm saying? I did. It's still better than where they came from. They're not being raped and murdered on their way to work at the fucking factory for $3 a damn week. They're not. I mean, it's bad. It's bad down there. And I've never even been further south than Mexico. And I'm telling you, it's bad. For a woman, it just ain't worth it. It's not worth it to be a woman there. It's not. Like, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I couldn't know that every day might be my last day simply for trying to go and do my fucking job.
I had a former coworker, someone who was under me. This was 2014 or so, and we were on standby at the time, so we were just kind of chewing the fat a little bit, and he started describing me the town where he came from in El Salvador. Now,
oh, that's
number
rough.
one.
Woo.
So number one thing was that he could make $5 a day down there, working in some factory, right?
Jesus.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, it's like there's this gang, this cartel that controls traffic in and out of the city. They will come through, randomly come through, robbing, raping, kidnapping women, taking them to another. I think they're calling like states or provinces over there. And while he couldn't confirm it, obviously, more than likely going down the whole human trafficking route, but just the main point he was trying to emphasize is that life, like you said, life for women out there was so cheap,
Yep.
that he's like, look, you have to understand this, Brian. Like, this is why so many people want to come to America. Like, he's just trying to emphasize that point to me. And from other conversations that I've had with other coworkers, from those Central American countries, like I already had an idea, but like he's like, look, this is exactly what happens. This is what happened in my town. I had to. We had to send my sister. I think she was in college in the capital in San Salvador. It was like, that's better for her to go over there and go to college than stay here in town, because you never know. Tomorrow she could be gone.
Yeah.
Like that,
Today could be her day. Yeah, today could be her day.
And
she'd be a fucking prisoner. She'd be a prisoner, be raped, 100 times a day, by however many people they could, collect money from to run through until she's used the fuck up.
Yeah, lost her value, and then discarded like that,
Yep.
And
we're disposable. Yep.
And there was a point in which he actually had to get away, because he was, I mean, probably 17, 18 or so when he left his home country, because they were trying. I forget the name of the gang. It's a notorious gang down there. It's kind of like,
yeah, I know the one you're talking about, B. It won't come to me though. They're a huge prison gang there. They control basically everything in the prison. They had a huge expose on it on Discovery when they did Gangland. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I cannot grasp the name. It won't come to me.
That one, essentially. But he's like, like, if because there's so few job prospects and all, like either you leave altogether, trying to find a better life in America, or you stick around and you get absorbed into the gang, initiated, the whole 9 yards. You just become, you know, a gang member, gun runner, drug mule, whatever. But he got out. You know, he's like,
Yeah.
I can find a better life for myself, and
Yeah.
he sends, and like a lot of guys I know, they send money back to their family down there. But like that's those are the conditions that he lived in, you know, and it's like, yeah, I had to get away.
It's a fact of life.
Yeah, you know, it's like I came here.
Yeah.
I didn't speak any. We were actually talking in Spanish because his Spanish, he was still working on his English, but I said, we'll talk in Spanish, you know, no problem. That's back when I was on top of my Spanish, man. I was like, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. You know what I mean? That's, for him, that must have been the most welcoming thing, though, to be able to communicate with someone, you know, and in your capacity, you know what I'm saying, and not feel judged for his inability to, you know, grasp the language. So I thank God you were there to, you know, do that. I mean, Jesus, that had to be the most welcoming feeling.
I hope so. I mean, you know, I try to create
sure it was,
welcoming
I'm sure
environment for everybody. But yeah, that's just, you know, just an example. And I try to bring the same attitude to the group I'm in charge of now. It's a pretty mixed group. It's pretty equally men and women. All of them. Oh, you know what? And I was going to write about this at some point on Bitch Face. I have never felt as old as I feel now because everyone under me is like 25 and under.
Hold up, these young punks running circles around you, dog? These young punks running circles?
Oh, no. I have the pimp hand strong.
Oh shit! The boy said I've been working this bitch out, okay?
But it's like it was weird because I've been in charge of people where I've had people older than me, people younger than me, but like never where every single person was born in like 1995 and
yes, it's a real crazy fucked up feeling, Brian. So I know what it feels like to be hanging out with the goddamn jits all the time.
It is, I tell you.
It's wild, ain't it?
It is. And like I've never felt that way. You know, I've never felt that way. But yeah, this is interesting. Because, you know, like there'll be one of my guys that'll call me, he's like, and he'll say some like slang term. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. You know, like,
I'll be like, yeet.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a yeet?
You know, I'm just, yep, right on, brother, go on, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Fight the power.
It's definitely an interesting experience. And
oh shit, B. Welcome to getting old. next time they ask you for something, be like, hold on, let me just get my reading glasses on right quick, and then you can feel just like me.
Over here, just
hang on, kid, I can't see that tiny ass writing.
You know what's funny is my boss, my account manager, I think she's like around the same age as me, or maybe a year older or so. And I told her about this feeling. You know, she's like, Brian, I see them as my little flowers, and they're flowering and they're growing, and I'm just like,
oh Lord,
maybe I'll get there at some point. But right now, I'm like, I guess I'm the old dude in the club
Trisha
now
from accounting.
You know,
Trisha from accounting, we need you to calm down about your geraniums, all right? Like, I'm over here trying to understand what the fuck yeet means, okay? Just
man, I still don't know what it means. Shit.
Can somebody get me an Urban Dictionary, please? Because I'm really not with it. Like, I get you, believe me, because I remember the time, you know, like back when I worked with the dudes that, you know, had the mail order brides. I was fucking young, you know, this is me first starting out when I worked at, you know, Alpha at Owens Corning, you know, and I mean, shit, I was 20 years old, you know what I mean? All these motherfuckers, man, they had 10 years on me at least. And then I got to Publix, and after a number of years, I got some 25, 30-year-olds coming in, and I ain't 25 and 30 no more, you know, and the good majority of my older techs are not that much older than me no more. And I'm just like, oh, this is this is not the way shit started, okay? Like, this is not how we did this. And I'm just like, I catch myself reflecting, being like, well, back whenever we installed the system, and I catch myself and be like, oh my God, did I just grandfather in the PLC system on this bitch? This is no
Dude,
good. Yeah. I would go to pull a physical manual on something, and they'd be like, hey, what you doing? What do you mean? I'm pulling the fucking manual. Oh, no, right here on the touchscreen. What do you, what I meant to say was, let me just go get my reading glasses because I can't see this tiny ass print. You know, it's an adjustment. It is a fucking adjustment.
everything you're saying, I'm just like, oh, I've done it. I've
Yep.
never just
Yep.
because here's the thing: is like they're all a lot of them either like just got out of school, like they just graduated last year with their
Oh
forestry or
God, they're green. They're
environmental science.
green.
I mean, still got mother's milk on their breath. I'm telling you.
Child, they listen, they smell like fucking Similac in this bitch. I smell Similac and Pampers. What is happening?
So when I started these weekly calls and tried to get something structured.
Uh,
So I'm like, okay, so I've been working for Davy as a whole for about 11 and a half years across a couple of different states, and then I said, okay, so what about you? I'm gonna do my best impression of a 23-year-old girl's voice, like, hi, I don't know, Cindy, and I graduated from Cal Poly with a, I don't know, environmental science degree or something like that. And I'm just 20. Oh Jesus, like that's almost 10 years. And I've been
like,
I've been in the field for 11 and a half years, like since I was 20 years old. So 20 years old to 32 now. It's just been just
listen,
you
they
know
didn't even offer. They didn't even offer the degree that she has whenever we were in college. Okay, like we're just like, wait, you have a bachelor's in what? That's not even a program. Oh yeah, they introduced it 4 years ago. They did? Are you serious? Like a bachelor's in science and what? Like, huh?
you, you want to talk about technology? Like if you give me a paper map of an overhead electric circuit, I could take that. I can make it work.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but I actually have an iPad now that we're using this software, and I'm looking at this like I conceptually I understand it, but just give me the paper map
Mhm.
out here. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Brian,
I
I
follow
come
the
from
line.
AutoCAD. I come from AutoCAD days, okay? So this new school shit, pulling these schematics on this new school shit, what the fuck are y'all doing? First of all, that don't look nothing like a drawing. I need my shit to be in the old school two-dimensional, please. Give it to me flat, boy. Don't give me none of this other bullshit y'all dealing with over here. I don't need electronic schematics. I want my shit on paper. I want it like the old school. If I can't get it in AutoCAD, now I'll tell you this, there's a program out there that looks so fucking much like AutoCAD, it's ridiculous. But the operations on it are ungodly. Okay, like on AutoCAD, you got your basic commands and you can run pretty much anything. On this shit, man, if I wanted to move 4 feet to the left and give it a tilt at 90 degrees, I had to touch like 82 different damn screens to get. I'm just like, oh my, this is not AutoCAD. This is not the old school. This is new school. Like this is the newest of the new school. I'm not ashamed to say I'm not good with this new ass technology. If you tried to put me back in the field as a working engineer at this point in my life, I can't do it. I have been out the game for too long. Like I did not keep my pimp hand strong. I have let my pimp hand go straight to hell. So, it's a challenge because I'm out here and I write theoretical engineering papers, obviously, you know what I mean? But do I have the real world application? I wrote a paper not too long ago and had one of my mechanics from Publix, one of my newbie, his name is Newbie. His fucking nickname is Newbie. That's what I named him when he got there, and this kid told me, yeah, but you forgot about the backdoor cheats. I didn't know there were backdoor cheats. I had no fucking idea. I've been writing on this system for 6 months. I had no idea what he was talking about. And that is embarrassing. You know what I mean? I'm writing expert level papers, and I have no fucking idea what the kid is talking about. Like this, that's the scary shit to me, is that, am I really that out of practice? In real world application, the knowledge is one thing, but really getting out there and applying it, no, I can't actively be out there working with the system because I have no fucking idea how to do it. I've never put my hands on it. I've read about it, but I ain't touched it, so, and that matters. Like, I could tell you all day how to do your job, but I couldn't get out there and do it. You'd be like, bitch, move out the fucking way. Let me just do this shit. Please don't fall down the side of this mountain today. Like, okay. How about you run shit and I'm just going to write it down?
Yeah, I think I'm at this weird kind of crossroads where I'm young enough to learn and apply the newest technology, the newest software. At the same time, I do have this old school mentality, where everything we did was all paper, was all just, getting out there and doing it as opposed to just sitting here looking at your iPad and just, like I said, about 14 different points, So, yeah, I'm still trying to navigate that part.
Here's the best advice I can give you as former corporate America drone. Do not ever miss a training class. Never. If they say, oh, Brian, this is, below your pay grade, don't even, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be right there in the front row with my informational packet in front of me, following along. Like, don't let the little shit slip out from under you, because it snowballs. And pretty soon, you're the old supervisor sitting in the corner that don't have a fucking clue what's happening on the shop floor no more. Don't be that, and it's quick. Just like I said, I can write a paper on this shit. I cannot operate the shit I'm talking about. It takes a mechanic to point out to me that I'm a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, it only takes a minute. I ain't been out of the field but 5 years. So, and I am a complete fucking dolt when it comes to real world application at this point. I can tell you with no level of doubt, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. So don't miss training, even if it's beneath you. Go anyway. Go and make them pay you for it.
Now that's good advice. It was slightly undermined by when you had, I'm assuming it's your phone that you're using, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Your phone's like right up to here, and all I can see was your eyes, and your eyes was like, don't. And I'm just, hey.
It was meant for effect.
But the problem was that sometimes I got your eyes. Sometimes I got your eyes, and then sometimes I just got the forehead. So I'm just looking at, okay.
It is supposed to be that scary, okay? It drives the point home. Like, there is not much more terrifying than knowing that you are completely archaic. I am an AutoCAD printer. I'm one of them big giant ass room size printers. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got no use for my ass no more. Like, bitch, I'm just taking up space, collecting dust, talking shit from back in the day. Beep, 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 beep. There ain't a damn thing for me. Exactly.
The good thing is that there are a lot of like courses, webinars, things of that nature that I've kept, like I've kept up with all my certifications. If you don't, you'll be left by the wayside real quick.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a matter of like continuing what I have been doing, knowing that I'm in this position where I'll get to it in a minute. But knowing that there are, because I'm over I think 4 different projects right now.
Uh-huh.
And I have to keep up with all these things, So I'm in, as I told you, like all these meetings as well.
Yeah. Because
So
you're still doing this, the whole restructuring of the Young Buck situation, right? Still trying to get the
exactly.
kids in line. Okay, yeah.
And speaking of Young Bucks, I had in the course of a few weeks, I had two different people. One person I worked with down in LA, and one person that I worked with a couple. Well, he's still patrolling the same line. Um, but the guy in LA, I'd given him a lot of advice because he had opened up. He was new to his supervisory role, and and he kind of asked me, "What would you do in these situations?" You know, mainly on how to deal with people. So I gave him what I felt was, you know, my best advice and all. And a couple weeks ago, he called me back and said, "Brian, I should have listened to you because you know what? I had this trouble employee and I didn't discipline him
This is
way.
dude. Yeah, this is dude from when you first did the transfer.
Uh, was it?
Yeah. Uh-huh. This is before you had your interview for the new position, before you tried to get that bitch fired.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. That's the same guy. So you know,
Stupid ass Becky don't
I
know how to
told him.
schedule a fucking appointment.
I told. I don't like.
This dumb bitch.
I got the job though, so I'm good. But yeah, so this guy, you know, I told him like, look, man, you cannot let anybody slide with any of this. You know, you have
Mm-mm.
to document every time you discipline
Mhm.
somebody. Document that. You know, document it. Send it to your boss. CC this person.
Yep.
He didn't do that.
Oh, he gave the inch.
He,
And they took the mile,
so
didn't they? Damn it.
so he called me and he's like, Brian, I know, man, I should have listened to you because you know this guy's causing more problems and so on and so on. I said, you know, hey, look, man, it's a lesson to be learned because this
Yep.
is your first supervisory position. You
We've
know,
all done it.
you think, oh, maybe I could talk to him and trying to be all too nice and everything. And I'm like, look,
Mm-mm.
I've been there, I've made that mistake, but now you know for the next time.
These are not your friends.
I told him from the very beginning, like, look, they put you in this position. This is a trial run. You know, set your standards right off the bat. Let
Yep.
everyone know this is what I want. And if they don't do it, there's going to be consequences. He
Yep.
was still at that point just trying to be too, you know, friendly with everybody. And
I'm
like,
still their friend. I'm a supervisor, but I'm a friend.
you're not the friend anymore, man. You're not the friend
Child,
anymore. But
they are not inviting you for beers, baby, because they're talking shit about you.
so, you know, it's like, Brian, look, I'm glad that you gave me that advice because you didn't have to. And I said, and he said, look, I mean, I know you've been in the business longer than I have, a couple longer than I have. Like you could have just came down and just walked all over everybody. Like, that's not what I do. Like I see somebody who asked for advice and I felt like I could help them, so I tried to help them, and you know, take it or leave it. You know, but
Okay, let me slide the gutter humor in here real quick.
please.
Apparently, the dude has never watched porn because evidently he does not know that BBC walks in suave. Okay, he does not force the hand, homeboy. All right, never mind. Continue on. Anyway, tell him he can get an education quickly. I'll point him in the right direction. I got a few links I'll send to him. He'll give you
No.
email.
So the second person, we were patrolling this line when I was over the same place where I fell down the mountain and got this lovely
Where you got your ass
bruise
whipped?
there.
Where you got your ass whipped by the damn bushes?
Man, those blackberries, they just say, come here, boy.
Man, they tear you up, dude. They're good, but they ain't that good.
So this guy, he had interviewed. Well, he was going to interview for a position, and so he asked me, you know, hey, I mean, you've been around a while. How have you gotten ahead with this company? And I broke it down to him. I said, look, you know, these are the ways I've seen people get ahead. This is my path. And but the number one thing I told him was, look, if you have a good idea, that what you should do is you should document that, you know, put it in a format that's easy to understand, and talk to your own boss right now and say, hey, you know, like in our case, we were talking about the transmission line patrolling process, how there are some things that need to be improved upon. I said, okay, so write that up, put it in a good format, and just let your boss know, hey, I feel like I could contribute more to the group. I've seen a few things that I feel we can improve upon, a few processes that we can improve upon,
Yeah.
and then just leave it alone. Don't push it, just leave it alone,
Those were my shop memos. I'd hang a memo at the time clock.
Well, there you go.
See the addendum to maintenance procedure 7.5. This is what it says. Wear your safety glasses when you're in the battery room. You know what I mean?
Put your PPE on, please. Please.
Yeah.
And then as far as like how to navigate like the interview process, ways in which to make yourself stand out without like raising your hand and making a big deal
Without
out of it.
showboating.
Essentially, yeah. And so he did the interview, and he called me later and he's like, Brian, dude, you helped me out so much with this interview. Like I felt very confident when I came in, and at the end of it, I felt like I got it. And you know what? You got the job.
He aced it. Hell yeah.
And he called me back. He's like, you know what, man? All the advice you gave me, like I really applied it, and it worked. I got the job. I got promoted. And I tell you that both of those situations, that
right there, that everything that you just said, that's you becoming a utility trainer. That's you. You'll be a regional supervisor before too long. You know what I mean? You'll have whatever underneath you, because the areas that you already know, you know what I mean? Plus, you already have that rapport built with these new management, because you're putting them on that level when they come in. So and then to hear it coming out of their mouth, yeah, you got a UT position coming up, kid. So might as well go on and prepare for that.
And may I also, like with my new group here, I still have 2 people that have to meet. We're probably not going to meet in person because of all this fire shit since they're way down south. But for everyone that I was able to meet over in Santa Rosa area, so I made it a goal to go out, meet with everybody, and ask them, number one, how they're doing in general. That's first thing. How they feel about working for the company, but in specifically the project. Do they feel like they're being supported? Before I got on, and like just general check your disposition. And then last thing was, what are your future goals and aspirations, and what can I do to assist you in achieving those?
Yeah.
The common thread with everybody was that they had not ever been asked from their previous supervisor, how can I help you? They would call to get production numbers, call to, that kind of thing, but not like
it was
a human
reactionary
touch.
Reactionary system. Yeah. So, not a.
So
they had no preventative happiness.
Right. So I've been in this position now for just under a month and a half or so. And
it's about a couple months now, ain't it?
Well, it's been since July or early July.
Well, shit.
And I feel like I'm starting a good thing here where people are responsive to what I'm saying, and like they, just there's a definite uptick in the vibe of the group.
Yeah, you got your sea legs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as I told my boss, that's one of the things that I wanted to start off with from the very get-go is how can we make the company a great place to work and advance your career instead of just doing a job and going home, because like for me, like it's been a long adventure across many different places. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I enjoy working here, and I feel like I've gotten supported every which way. So I want to pay that forward,
it took care of you when you needed it to, like when you had to get the hell out of Houston, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when shit could have went sideways, it went upward, and that was where you needed it to go at that point. So it coincided with events in your timeline that were like, oh, hold up, let's just go on and throw ourselves into the job and get the fuck up out of here, and that is always the right thing to do, but a lot of people don't understand that, but for you to be able to spread that mentality, I think is an excellent. That's why I'm saying that's a UT position for you. So you just bone up on your fucking lingo and be ready for the next test, because that's what they're developing. You know what I mean? That's what they're developing you for. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of you. I just go on and say it. Don't get your head swollen though, because just because you don't feel outdated like the damn AutoCAD printer now, don't miss no training classes. So it's yeah.
And the thing about it, and overall, is that because of all the just different kinds of experiences that I've had, I know several times now that things could be going very well, and then the rug could be pulled from under. So that's
Which is why don't drop none of those classes.
To your point, I mean, it's also why I'm going to school in the first place.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So, it's I've had projects come up from under me in several different times. Now, the good thing is now I'm in the leadership group, so I'm actually non-billable. So my time is not tied to any particular project anymore, which is like, ooh.
So is that clock running? That's your open time. Your when you get there, it's we gonna go on and collect this check, and
my time is however much I want to work.
Okay, then.
And it's coming directly.
Also, you just wrote your own paycheck, is basically what you said to me.
I direct bill from the company, so
here it is. And that right there, that's where you need to be. So I'm super proud to hear that, because you know how I feel about my money. If I roll the fuck over and slap the alarm, I better be getting paid for it. You feel me? So, so that to me, I've always equated the ability to write my own check as success. It has shit to do with the title. How much fucking money can I clear up out of here is my thing, and that is amazing news. That is incredible news. So, but also don't forget, you're still chasing that degree because you do have that glass ceiling. You know what I mean? That's what you got, one more position to go?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely want to make sure you got that degree in your pocket before that happens. So, you know what I'm saying? And I know you're on the right track. I know, but don't let yourself get distracted with the ability to write your own check and whatever position they dangle in front of you, when they know you need to see that next step up, because they will, so just don't forget, it's you for you first. So always you for you first, because I put in some years, and then at the end of the day, I didn't take none of them years with me. You know what I'm saying? I had to start over again, out there bitching at a new group of mechanics and crying in my car on my lunch break again. So it's it's frustrating when you know that all those trials that you done went through, you're about to have to go through the same dumb shit with these new group of dumbasses that don't listen to a fucking thing that's coming out your mouth, and I had put
your side was just muted for like 10 seconds for some reason.
Yes, my damn phone was ringing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This new number rings all the fucking time. I don't know. Listen, I think a drug dealer had this shit before me. I swear to you, because no normal person. Like, and he must have been a busy drug dealer too. Like, this is not some dude that's selling nickel bags. This bitch was evidently dropping weight off because, like, and I mean, it is a collection of different people. So apparently he had a list of clientele. Like, he wasn't doing small potatoes. So, like,
Entrepreneur. Okay.
I'm over it. It's like it's 1 o'clock in the morning here, Who in their right mind calls somebody on a Sunday night at 1 o'clock? Drug dealers and drug users. That's who, like, I could call my pill man at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna tell you that. Could I call anybody else 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? No, because it's 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. You don't act like that. That don't make no sense. Jesus. Like, if I was somewhere in public and somebody's phone rang at 1 o'clock in the morning and I had the authority to search them, I would do it right then. I'd be like, hold up, empty your fucking pockets, because I know you're carrying. Nobody gets calls at 1 in the morning unless they're doing some illegal ass activity, or you got a wife that's about to give birth. Which one is it? Tell me now. Like,
Yeah, the former. Yeah.
it don't make no sense otherwise, So it's highly aggravating, highly. But yeah, I don't even try to answer it anymore. I just hit the decline because I figure eventually they'll get a new supply. So please get a new dope man. Like,
Until then, daddy needs a fix. Oh,
your old one is out of commission, kid. I can't help you. So, like, oh my Jesus. I feel like Eazy-E every time my shit standing on the corner straight slanging rocks. Oh shit. Here come the motherfucking cops. I swear to God. Yeah, I took it there. I really did. Because every now and then a bride needs to pull her inner Eazy-E out of her pocket.
Oh, you got to.
So, oh Jesus. Like, if you really, really want to know if I'm just way the fuck out there, like, when I pulled ODB out of my pocket, just know. And people are just like, I know this bitch is not over there rapping some ODB. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Like, yes, I did. Oh shit.
Yeah, but
Anyway, so are we gonna go ahead and wrap, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta be able to get these pusher man calls because they're gonna start coming in. I guess everybody done smoked up all their rock today, so.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
do something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's I can only tell you what I know, and these are the things that I know. Um,
All right. Well, then let's wrap this one up here, and
well, we'll wrap.
I will shoot it over to you when it gets done
Okay.
downloading.
However, I will address it in a much more responsive fashion, because I've been a little slow to the draw. I think I'm getting lazy. Maybe I'm getting old. It's whatever. Don't ever repeat that. I'll never get old. I will work on it in a fashion much more deserving of the Ask a Bitch Face title. That's what I'll do. Was that political enough for you?
That sounds very official, company statement. So
I'm all corporate all day, baby. So, all right, B. I'll holler.
All right, later.
All right.